Hey there, welcome to my studio here in New York City. I'm Daniel Norton, and today I'm going to make a quick video to kind of cover a topic I get this question asked all the time, so I'm hoping that now I can just point people to this video. So it's about how I hang backgrounds and why I hang them different ways. So there's kind of 4 ways that I hang a background typically. The first way would be maybe just to tape it on the wall, which I'm not going to do, but you can. That's pretty self-explanatory. If you're using a roll of paper, you're going to want to put the roll on the ground, obviously. You just kind of pick it up and you tape it to the wall. That's great if you're going to throw away the paper, if you don't have any space, and if you use gaffer tape so you don't tear the painted stuff off the wall. The second way, which I'll put a link to the one I use because I don't have it here, it's at my house, but would be to use a background support system. So that's, they look like regular 3-legged light stands. They've got a pole that clips together, they fit in a bag. The reason why I use that type of system is because it's lightweight and portable. I don't use it here in the studio because it takes up more space. Here, I would rather have a premium space even though something's bigger to store, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But so if you think about it, if I were to take something like, I'll just use my tripod as an example, this tripod has 3 legs, and if I were to put 2 of them on either side and then have a pole, I'm taking up a lot more space. However, this collapses down really small, so super useful when you're traveling and often the first kind of kit that people will buy. My preferred background system for the studio, though, is an auto pole. So an auto pole is a pole, right? It is effectively spring-loaded, and you use pressure to put it to the ceiling. This works if you have solid ceilings. You can't use this on a drop ceiling, obviously. And what I have here is a super clamp with a J-hook on it. I'll put links to all these things, so don't worry about that. But what you do is you get your auto pole, and effectively, you just lift it up to the ceiling. Get it up there, nice and straight. Boom. And now it's locked in place, right? You have 2 of these, you put a crossbar, you're good to go. It takes up almost no space. You can put it right up against the wall if you want. Really, really simple. You can also use these for lights. Just keep in mind that if you are like putting a light out, like you want to boom it out or whatever, you need to use 2 and then hang the light in the center. You don't want to boom out from this because you don't want too much pressure coming to the side. It will pull the auto pole down. So just be wary of that. But these are great in small spaces. They're great in studios. They're kind of big to transport. So if you're like a solo photographer going to somebody's house to make a portrait of them, this is probably not what you're going to want to use, right? You want that background support system. Now, the other way I'll do it in the studio is if I'm using... The other way I'll do it in the studio, and I get asked about this all the time, this is kind of what prompted this video, is I use a C-stand. So I made a whole video about C-stands. I use C-stands for a lot of things. They take up hardly any space for the amount of weight they can hold. They're real simple. If I'm shooting portraits and I'm just using a short roll of paper, a 53-inch roll of paper, I just effectively use the arm from the C-stand, the arm that comes with it if you get a complete C-stand, and this gives me what is effectively a background stand. It's strong. It'll hold the paper no problem. I can raise it and lower it very easily. And of course, you're going to want to throw a sandbag on here, like this, and we can just take our short roll of paper. This is from Savage. It's a nice blue color. We're gonna roll it down. And of course, once we roll the background down, we just need to hold it. A clamp is good. You can, you want to clamp it down here at the bottom, because if you clamp it at the top, it'll actually make the paper go at an angle. And what we want to do here is keep it out over the leg, straight down to the bottom, and we have a nice effective background. So in summary, if you have absolutely no space and you've got some tape and a wall, let's say you're outside on the street and you want to do a white background, let's say looking back at like Richard Avedon in American West series. If you haven't seen those, check them out. In some of the behind the scenes pictures you see, he's effectively taping a white piece of paper to the back of like barns and stuff. So, that's one way to do it. It's going to ruin the paper. It possibly is going to damage the thing you're putting it on. So be wary of that. Second way, portable, lightweight, inexpensive background support system. However, takes up more space, right? More footprint. In a studio or with solid ceilings, auto poles, awesome. And finally, simple and quick, C-stand. I would not want to take this just for the reason of using it for their background on a location. The stands, it's just too heavy, right? But in the studio, I've got half a dozen C-stands anyways, so it works for me. Let me know if you guys have any other ways you put up backgrounds or you use any of these, or what do you think? If you have questions, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notifications, and I'll see you next time.